first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be.
Trump is motivated by the feeling he may yet win a Nobel Peace Prize.
The high-stakes meeting between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska aims to address the ongoing war in Ukraine. While Trump is optimistic about achieving a breakthrough, Putin is also seeking for nuclear arms control agreement. Now, hoping to have a good meeting with Putin, Trump says that he hopes to save many lives, while emphasizing that a second meeting with Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky will be more crucial.
I'm doing it for that reason. We have a meeting with President Putin tomorrow. I think it's going to be a good meeting, but the more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to have a meeting with President Putin, President Zelensky, myself, and maybe we'll bring some of the European leaders along, maybe not. I don't know that it's going to be very important. We're going to see what happens. And I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along. And if they can, it'll be great. You know, I've solved 6 wars in the last.
Finalizing the details of the upcoming summit in Alaska, Putin held a meeting with his close associates, praising Trump administration's efforts to end the Ukraine crisis. Putin hoped the two leaders could reach an agreement on nuclear arms control in safeguarding world peace.
The current American administration is making quite energetic and sincere efforts to stop the hostilities, stop the crisis, and reach agreements that are of interest to all parties involved in this conflict, in order to create long-term conditions for peace, both between our countries and in Europe, and in the world as a whole, if at the next stage we reach agreements in the area of control over strategic offensive weapons.
According to Putin's aide, both leaders will hold a one-on-one session with interpreters present, followed by delegation-level talks and a working breakfast. Now, the Russian delegation will include senior officials such as Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, and Finance Minister Anton Silonov, accompanied by their expert teams. After the talks, Putin and Trump will hold a joint news conference to summarize the negotiation results. The Kremlin says that the agenda will largely focus on Ukraine peace talks, with broader global security and economic cooperation also being discussed. Meanwhile, hundreds of demonstrators gathered in Anchorage in Alaska to protest the meeting between the two presidents. While some expressed disappointment over the exclusion of Zelensky at the meeting, many expressed skepticism about the summit's potential to bring peace to Ukraine.
The idea that this war criminal and felon and what we're now calling the American president is here together. The fact that Putin is in this country at all, and the fact that Trump thinks he can negotiate anything. He can't negotiate himself out of a paper bag. The fact that they're here has me here objecting.
Now, ahead of the Alaska summit, Russia and Ukraine have conducted a prisoner exchange, releasing 84 captives from each side. The swap was mediated by the United Arab Emirates. Russian Defense Ministry said that the freed Russian service members will receive medical treatment and rehabilitation in Russian military facilities. And there's more on this from our principal correspondent, Siddharth MP, who sends us this report from Murmansk, Russia.
The eyes of the world are fixated on Anchorage, Alaska, where high-profile talks would be held between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. In fact, this is the first time that at the presidential level, both nations will be holding talks after the Ukraine-Russia conflict began in early 2022. Let's recall that President Trump has been claiming that he's been playing a major role in ending conflicts around the world. But in the Ukraine-Russia war's case, so far over the last 6 months, he has not been able to make any progress. And this is why he also says that he's been been growing impatient, and this particular meeting is being seen because it could prove crucial. However, even the US side has now acknowledged that Donald Trump will be playing a listening role in this meeting, where he would try and listen to Russia's concerns. Trump president has also indicated that, there would be a second meeting if things go well. So overall things remain quite ambiguous, but the agenda on the table is the Ukraine-Russia conflict and perhaps an off-ramp to end that conflict. Also on the table are economic issues that US and Russia are bound to discuss. Meanwhile, on the Ukrainian side and the European side, there is this apprehension that there should be no decision arrived at without consulting Europe and Ukraine, major stakeholders in the ongoing conflict, which has been going on for more than 2.5 years and impacting global politics and geopolitics everywhere. So all eyes on Alaska, and let's wait to see what happens in about 12 hours from now. From Murmansk with video journalist Ajit, Siddharth MP, WION World is One from Russia.